Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Math with Mr. Emond. Today we are going to be continuing on in our unit on linear and quadratic inequalities. We're doing quadratic inequalities again. We already kind of started looking at this stuff, graphing a couple quadratics, testing points, and we're going to continue doing that in some different ways here, and let's get started with that. So example 3 here, we're just being asked to graph this quadratic. So y is less than negative 2x squared plus 8x plus 24. So again, we're going to be using our strategies from working with quadratics. And so I can see my first thought is all of these are divisible by 2. So I'm going to factor out that 2. So I'm going to factor out negative 2. So that I have a positive a value. So this is going to give me x squared minus 4x minus 12. Okay, now I can factor this one more time. So this is going to be 6 and 2. So x minus 6, x plus 2. And of course, you know, the speed on this comes with practice, right? The more factoring you do, the quicker you're going to be able to see that 6 times 2 is 12 and 6 minus 2 is 4, right? And that just it comes with practice. So you'll get there. Now I can determine my x-intercepts are x equals 6 and x equals negative 2. And at this point, I'm going to start graphing. So x equals negative 2 and x equals 6. I can probably determine my axis of symmetry graphically. There's a difference of 8 between these 2 points, so I'm going to go 4 from either side. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's right there. I'm actually going to switch. Okay, there's my axis of symmetry. So I know my vertex is going to be on that point. So that's the point of 2. So the p value of my vertex is 2. And to find the q value of it, you just plug in p into your equation. So negative 2 times 2 squared plus 8 times 2 plus 24. So this is 4. So negative 2 times 4 plus 16 plus 24. Negative 8 plus 16 plus 24. Let's just use the calculator, make it fast. Negative 8 plus 16 plus 24 is 32. Which is off the charts. So we're going to make this x-axis, let's say each one is worth 4. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Oh, but we want it there. Okay, and remember your x-axis is going by 1. So this is negative 5, negative 10. Okay, so I kind of had to play around with this a little bit, but that's fine. You know what? Let's plot in one more point here, which is when x is 0, y is 24, right? I can quickly plug in my zeros there and get that. So 24 would be right there, and I can mirror this across my axis of symmetry. And now I just have a couple more points just to make this even more accurate, right? All right. There we go. Okay. I'm not a very good drawer. So now we're going to test a point. Let's again test 0, 0. 0, 0 is just kind of always a good one to test. It makes things very easy. So we have 0 is less than 0 plus 0 plus 24. Is 0 less than 24? Whoa. Is 0 less than 24? Yes, it certainly is. So that point is part of our solution. So now we can shade it in. All right, so before we move on to the your turn, I just want to demonstrate how to graph something like this. So you're going to hit File, New, and then you're going to add a graph. And here we have f of x equals, but we don't want that. We want y is less than. And then we're going to type it in exactly how we see it. So negative 2x squared plus 8x plus 24. Double check to make sure you typed it in correctly, then you can go ahead and graph it. Now I'm going to try to make my axes the same as this graph here. So negative 10 to 10 is fine, but I need to change my y-axis. So to do that, I'm going to go window zoom, window settings, and here I'm going to have it going from negative 40 to positive 40. There we go. And now you can see they match really, really well, right? So I did a good job on my graph. That's basically how you would graph this. If you didn't know how to do your window zoom, you could just go, like if you didn't know what settings to use, just zoom in and out. Okay, so click your zoom in and then hit it until you're happy, or zoom out. And then at this point you can drag and scroll. So if that works for you, that's fine. Really what we're kind of looking for is we want to be able to see the x-intercepts, the y-intercept, and the vertex. Now you could hit menu, analyze graph, and start finding what they are. So zeros are your x-intercepts. So we'll start with analyzing for zeros. Click before a visual zero and after it, and we can see the first zero is negative 2 and 0, which we identified, x equals negative 2. Let's do this again, analyze graph 0 and find the other one. It's positive 6, and so there it is as well. Let's find the vertex. So we'll go analyze graph maximum, because this is a maximum value, highlight, 2 and 32, which is what we found as well, right? X value of 2, P value of 2, Q value of 32. And so now all we need is this y-intercept. And so we can, what we might actually do here is a graph trace. And so that's going to put you on the graph, and then you can hit your arrow keys to kind of scroll until you get where you want. So here, 0 and 24. So this is basically makes things a little easier to check your work, right? Make sure you've graphed it properly. Okay, so now that I've demonstrated that, give your question a shot. So we're going to be using technology to graph y is less than or equal to negative x squared minus 6x plus 9. Find the following: the x, y intercepts, the vertex, and is the shaded region inside or outside. All right, go ahead and try this out. Pause the video, and when you have the solution, come on back to check your work. Okay, welcome back. I have the solution here in the calculator for you. So we're gonna analyze this. So analyze graph 0. And let's find the first intercept is right there. So now the x-intercepts, we have a negative 7.24 and 0. And what's our other one? So menu, analyze graph 0 is 1.24 and 0. Okay. What about our y-intercept? Okay, for the y-intercept, we're just going to do our trace feature. So graph trace, and we'll look for x equals 0, and there it is, 0 and 9. And now we need the vertex. So menu, analyze graph maximum, and it's negative 3 and 18. Shaded region inside or outside, it's inside. All right, so that's it for this question. Using technology definitely makes things a little bit simpler, but you can only do this on questions that say use technology. Otherwise, I expect you to do it by hand graphing, and you can still use technology to check your work, but don't just give me the answers. You have to be able to show how you got them. Thanks for watching, everybody. You can like, follow, and subscribe to my social medias to get notifications as soon as new content is uploaded. In the top corner here, you will find the playlist that this video is in. Watch the unit from beginning to end, and over here, you will find the next video in this unit. Keep learning, everybody. Take care.